We followed preparations all week long, and today's the big day we've all been waiting for. It's the first day of Breeders' Cup.
Yeah, ABC 36 Sports Director Jeff Piecoro has been joining us live from Keeneland all week long.
That's right.
And that's where we find him once again this Friday morning. Good morning, Jeff.
Good morning, Jeff. How are you?
I'm great, guys. Boy, what a beautiful day breaking today for the races. It is absolutely fantastic back here. We're on the backside, and as you can see behind me, these are the 6 barns of the house of the 168 horses. So basically about $500 million worth of the greatest thoroughbreds in the entire world are standing right behind me. Now, they've gone out this morning, get their exercise. They walk up to the training track, which is just above these barns, and they just simply walk. It's just like getting up in the morning, having your coffee, and taking a walk around the block. That's what they do just to get ready. Then they'll go back to their barns, and they just hang out the rest of the day until it's time for them to head up to the racetrack, which is going to be packed. And I'll tell you what, guys, if you plan on coming out here, you better plan early. And if you're not, try to avoid Versailles Road on the outbound from New Circle, because it is crazy. There are police everywhere. They've got it cordoned off. So it's going to be quite the adventure trying to get here. And if you do not have a pass, don't think you're going to be able to come out here and park for free anywhere.
Yeah, Jeff, I was out there earlier. It is quite a lot of traffic out there. Lots of police, too. So, Jeff, we hear today's the day for the baby horses. Can you elaborate on that and what that looks different for Friday versus Saturday?
Sure. When the Breeders' Cup started, they just had a handful of races. They were all on one day, and it was for everyone. So now what they've done is they split it. So Friday is for what they call the future stars, and that are the juveniles, the juvenile fillies, and the juvenile colts. So there's 5 races for them today, and then the rest of the races, the other 9, are tomorrow. So this is just for the 2-year-olds. So the winner today, for instance, of the juvenile, which is the colts, he will become the favorite for next year's Kentucky Derby. And then the juvenile fillies, the winner of that, will become the favorite, the early favorite, for the Kentucky Oaks, which, of course, is run on Friday, the day before the Kentucky Derby. So that's why this is so important. And again, the difference, too, is this. These are 2-year-olds, so they've only really been in training for about a year. But they've all been training for this point, because you'd love to get a horse here, because if they can win, it's a lot of money, it's a lot of prestige, and the biggest thing in horse racing nowadays is what happens after they retire. And once you become a stallion or a mare, then that's where all the big money is for these horses. So a win in this race, that's called a black type win. You want the black type wins on your resume when you're done racing.
Wow. So it kind of sounds like it's a Breeders' Cup Junior, but it's actually a really big deal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love that.
Jeff, also, we've kind of been talking about the forecast for tomorrow's race. Today, as you said, absolutely gorgeous out there. Temperatures are nice. It's warm. People may be coming to visit Lexington. Not used to, this is not typical November weather.
Not at all. Not at all.
Tomorrow, the forecast is becoming a little bit more down pat, that we could get some rain, but it's not looking super heavy. Some gusty winds, maybe some storms in the area, but the lighter rain looks like what we could be seeing. And that's some benefit for the race as well, right? Less of an issue there.
Sure, especially here at Keeneland. Keeneland is a track that's made because in the spring and in the fall, it's usually a little bit wetter here in the Bluegrass State, and especially here in central Kentucky. So it's got a sand base to it. It can take the rain. As long as it's not a deluge, it shouldn't affect the horses at all. By the way, in the Classic race, because I think you said, Dylan, earlier, the rain's not going to come till later in the day, there's only one horse in the race that's even run on an off track, and that is Life is Good, Todd Pletcher's horse. And he won the Woodward up in New York on a sloppy track. But other than that, he's the only one that's run on that. I don't think that's going to affect this race course at all. Like I said, it can take the rain. Even the turf course is a good course right now. It's firm and fast. So even the lightest rain shouldn't really hurt any of the racing. I think what does hurt more is the gusty wind, especially if it's a wind that is going to be in their face as they head for home. Because, again, especially today with the younger horses, they're going distances that a lot of them haven't traveled before, and then when you turn for home and that wind hits them, that I think is a little bit worse than the rain. But today is just, it's simply beautiful, and I think it's going to continue today. And hey, you know what? Just bring an umbrella with you tomorrow as you're sitting there at parasail. Most of the people are going to be undercover tomorrow anyway. So good luck with your picks.
I mean, it's the Breeders' Cup. It's worth it.
That's
so
true.
may
And
as
you're
well.
mentioning the later start time of the Classic. That's at 5:40. So it doesn't. I wouldn't think there would be heavy rain before that to give us some terrible track conditions.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. Well, Jeff, you also said there's all eyes on that Classic tomorrow. Let's talk about Flightline.
Yeah. Flightline is an incredible horse. His last race was called the Pacific Classic, and he won that race by 19 lengths. That is that's like you can't even see the next horse in the television frame is how big he wins by. He has never lost. He has been compared to Secretariat. He's that good. We will find out again tomorrow afternoon if he is. If he wins, he immediately becomes in the talk of one of the greatest racehorses of all time. Now, I don't think that he has had the breadth, the career that Secretariat had. It's a little bit longer, but if he wins, he's undefeated. He's won the Breeders' Cup Classic. He's going to be worth a lot of money in the breeding shed. Would they bring him back out to race again next year? That is the huge question. But John Sadler, his trainer, is just a great guy. He's been in this business for a long time on the West Coast, and this is by far his best horse. I think he wins this race. Epicenter is another really good horse who's got some speed, and I think those two are going to be on the lead. And if Flightline stays out of trouble in the race, and again, with 8 horses, it's kind of hard to get in trouble. It's not like the Derby where there's 20 horses in the race. So I think they'll get a clean trip. If he does, he's going to be awful hard to beat. If someone beats him, it's going to be the race of their life to beat him.
Yeah, well, being compared to Secretariat, I mean, that's insane to even be that close. So that's absolutely incredible. And I love how Epicenter is also kind of getting some attention too.
Yeah,
Not
yet
Hot
again.
Rod Charlie. We didn't
Yeah.
talk about him, but that's fine. That was
Yeah, that
my
was Andy's pick,
I
yeah.
always pick the cute names. It's fine.
Yep.
Well, Jeff, you have fun out there. Thank you so much for joining us.
All right, guys, enjoy it, and good luck on all your bets.
Thank you.
Thank you.